Guys, this is the first episode of the Cayem Interviews podcast. Couldn't think of a better person than Michael Barr.
Oh, boy.
Someone I've known for a long time, and it's kind of a funny story how we met, actually.
Where did we meet?
When you were on Media Scare, when Volumes was on Media Scare.
I was thinking about this morning.
Yeah.
Before you came down here.
I tweeted you. I was like, because Media Scare, for a lot of people that don't know.
Which is like right down the street.
Yeah, right down the street.
We're at my house, by the way.
Yeah.
This is my house.
And set dressing skills, all thanks to Mr. Barr over here.
I just helped.
Made it look nice and fancy.
Helped.
Made it look like I have a nice budget for this, but but yeah. So I just tweeted you because Media Scare was such a shit label at really understanding like.
Oh, you think?
No, obviously for obvious reasons.
Newsflash.
Yeah, newsflash. Media Scare was horrible, and I was trying to get in contact with them because I loved Volumes, and I was like, man, worst case scenario, what you're not supposed to do as a publicity outlet is just tweet a celebrity or a vocalist of a band and be like, yo, can I interview you? You know, it's just kind of unprofessional. It's kind of a no-no. So I was just like, you know what, this is my last fucking option. So I tweeted Michael, and he was like, yeah, like I'm down to do it. Like, come out to the show. And so you guys were on tour with Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was a great tour.
Yeah. I don't know who else was on that, but it was Devil Wears Prada for sure. You guys. It was a while ago. This was like 4 or 5 years ago.
I mean, that was a while ago, but that wasn't like, I'm thinking this was like a while ago. But that was one of my last tours with them, and that was a great tour. I can't remember who opened up for that tour.
But I remember,
So you came out on that?
I came out to it.
You came on Glass House.
No, it was Observatory.
Observatory.
Yeah, when we went to that In-N-Out right there by the...
That's In-N-Out interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we did the In-N-Out interview, and then a kid came up during the interview and was like, yeah.
That's probably like the best interview I've done.
Yeah, it was a good interview.
Like I used to of course, watch my interviews, and I remember looking back on the interview being like, you killed it. And
it was Vice style.
It was because of you. It was because of your. Yeah, it was like the first time I was like, I'm into this. Like I like this person. I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Mostly it's just some dude like it's like 30 degrees out. He's like going like this with like a
shaking
recorder,
his hand,
a notebook with like a bunch of like ruffled pages, asking you questions. That's what I'm used to. So that was just so like I was like, dope. This is like we're setting up at In-N-Out.
Yeah.
This is rad.
That was awesome.
You're ahead of yourself.
I was ahead of the game,
vision,
I guess.
Dude. You got the vision.
And
so that's the first time we met.
Yeah, that was the first time we met, and then it was cool from there. We just obviously stuck around. I met you up in Texas at So What Festival, and I met you. I mean, obviously the Cobalt shows.
I remember that. I remember the So What show. I remember that show was
awkward.
awkward.
A lot of stuff went down.
That whole day was awkward. The whole. I remember the minute you walked up to the bandwagon. We had a bandwagon. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was the only cool thing about that day. But shout out to Mike Zemer.
He's the
shout
goat.
Out to Mike Zemer.
Shout out Mike Zemer. He's the goat.
If I lean closer, does it get louder? And if people watching this, is it going to be louder?
No,
do I get closer?
Maybe.
Shout out to Mike Zemer though. But yeah, that show was so weird. And I remember you walking up, like even just before we played, there was a weird like thing in the air, and it was just us. It wasn't the show or anything, right? But it was like I don't know.
It was a lot of internal band.
And you came up and like. I just remember being
made it worse. I'm sure.
No. I just remember like my whole band was like I didn't think I said anything.
They didn't know me at the time.
I don't know. I don't think I said anything to them about you coming.
And that's why.
And then you showed up with like I don't know if you had the Steadicam or something, but you had you showed up like camera guy proper.
Yeah.
And before camera guys it was a cool thing to always have camera guys around.
Yeah.
Following you everywhere. You showed up. And I remember like we had a cart that was taking us, and you're like, can I come? Can I not come? And I was like, get on! And like, of course. And it kind of looked like you were just filming me, and like then like they all looked at me like, oh,
it's for you,
not
us.
Yeah. I'm like, no, like this is for everybody. And you filmed the whole thing and everything. But yeah, that was a fun day.
Yeah,
it's so cool playing in like a baseball field. Like it feels like you're.
Bigger than you are,
and that's the cool thing about that festival. So hopefully.
Yeah, this year he's taking it off, but I tweeted about it. Like I was like, man, like people are gonna miss that festival while it's gone for this year. Hopefully it comes back because I loved it, especially last year with like Puya there and Fat Nick, and Ghostmane and Lil Aaron. Like, that was really cool to see something else there, you know?
It's interesting also to see what's going to now, because, you know, Warped Tour is,
Yeah.
you know, and it's going to be interesting to see, like, who's next to kind of, like, be responsible for, like, a big genre tour festival, what have you, where it's like, you know, I see everything kind of being mixed now, you know, even like
totally,
even just even a small example where there was a show that just got announced called Rock USA. I don't know if you saw the flyer, but it's like, I don't know, it's like I think like Seven Dust is headlining, and like it's a 3-day festival, and it's all predominantly rock. Yeah. I think like Moss to Flames is on there. I know Beartooth's on there. There's a couple of other acts on there, but like Machine Gun Kelly's on there. And I know that's not the best example, but of like a mixed genre festival. But just the fact like they're like he's up at the top, and like he, you know, he's a rapper guy and stuff. He has rock elements, but like it's bleeding together. For sure. And that's such a good thing. And it's gonna be interesting to see like what the next Warped Tour style is, or who's gonna do it. Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer.
And I can't wait to see that. To see, I just spit in my glass. I can't wait to see who's gonna pop up.
Don't spit in mine. No, I mean, it's very interesting to see also, because, you know, Vans Warped Tour kind of made it a thing to talk about, like, the fact that it's not going to be gone it's not going to be gone completely. It's going to be gone nationwide. So I'm wondering also, like, will Kevin Lyman step up to the plate to kind of give Self-Help a run for its money? Because Self-Help is the dominant festival that we have in this scene right now. That's just like, yo, we're going to put one in you know, like, what was it? Like Philadelphia? Did they do one in Philadelphia? Did one in Florida? Did one?
Maybe it was New Jersey or something. They did
New Jersey,
something
like that.
Because I know the LA one's coming up.
Yeah, March.
San Bernardino,
March. Right? Yeah, in San Bernardino. Yeah.
So I know they did. I don't know where it was on the East Coast, but I don't think he's done. I don't think Kevin Lyman's done.
No, I don't think he can be.
I think
it's his life.
I think for whatever reason, and like I don't know, but for whatever reason, Warped Tour, like he's like, okay, it's just ran its course, or
it's not making the same money it did, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I don't think he's like done. Maybe he needs a break, but I think like you'll see him because he's one of the biggest donators to charity. I mean, he donates thousands of dollars to Red Cross every year, and does other stuff too. And it's just always like that's where his mind's at. So maybe that's his pivot. Maybe it goes to like
giving back. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, he was even saying in that statement that he made once they announced that Warped Tour was discontinuing, he was saying that the past, like, 3 years, they've just barely broke even. If not, like, he lost money on a lot of dates. And, like, it's the sponsors that make them even break even. Like, it's not even the ticket sales. The ticket sales are not just... They're not breaking even to an extent.
I can see that. I could see it's just, and I don't think it's his fault. I just think times have changed.
Yeah, times have changed.
Kids are into different things. And
Internet is huge, and you know, like, and I always thought that was the ironic part too. Like, more people would watch my, you know, footage of like a night than people would actually go to the show, and that's like. And that's not to boast or anything. That's just how it works. People go on the internet to see drum videos and live videos and interviews that they can't all go out, you know?
Like, it's easier to watch from your couch.
It's free, too.
It's easier to stream Coachella from your couch than to go, which is, again, another... I'm really bad at examples. Because that's a giant show where you're like, I'm not going. But, yeah, I mean, dude, even though... Me personally, like, I go to shows... I just went to a Spite show in Reseda, you know? And, like, it was awesome. And I make sure, like, I go to as many hardcore shows as I can still. Because it's like... I mean, I don't know. I'm also like, I'll be 28 in like 2 weeks. And I'm seeing now, like, the younger kids or whatever. I sound so fucking old. I see the younger kids, like, I sound so old. I see young kids, you know, like that passion's there for like the rap scenes, especially in LA right now. Like, the underground rap scene's great. There's kids all the time.
It's a new thing.
But you know, I mean, the support in other areas, you know, I mean, like
Knocked Loose isn't struggling.
Right? No,
Code Orange isn't
not
struggling.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But like I'm saying, like, you know, your local scene or like even Spite, like a band like Spite. Shout out Spite. Great band, good dudes. love Darius, you know. But like that show like I showed up and I was like, wow, there's a lot of kids here. Like there's a lot of kids, and I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting there was to be like 50 to 75 kids. There was like 100, almost 200 kids there.
Yeah.
So it was good to see people going to shows, and I think that's really important. Is like getting off your couch and buying tickets.
Yeah.
And fucking making it there, making it happen.
Absolutely.
Shout out, go do that for me. I know it's going to be freezing on the East Coast when I go on tour in a couple weeks, but make it happen. We'll all be trekking it through the snow together. Let's go. Let's do it. MichaelBarTour.com. Get your tickets now.
Get your tickets now. I was going to ask you about that. How are you going to pack for this? Because, I mean, obviously...
Pack?
I mean, yeah, how are you going to pack? Like, for your clothing, what are you going to do for all of that? Like, cold weather, I mean, it's, you're told to pack light on tour, but...
Yeah, I always underpack.
Underpack, yeah.
For years. So I've been touring for, like, almost 7-ish years.
Yeah.
And I think I finally figured it out that...
Tour for 7 years. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, that I'm going to pack. I'm not going to overpack, but I'm going to pack well. I'm going to make good decisions. I'm not going to do it. I'm always the dude that packs like 3 hours before his flight. Always. So I'm going to try to do it 3 days before my flight and pack. And but yeah, I'm actually going to shop tonight. I'm going to online shop. I used to go go to like Melrose or go to stores that I like, and I just find it so much easier to shop online now. So tonight I'm gonna order a bunch of like heavy jackets and stuff and get all prepared.
Yeah,
it's gonna be cold.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, cold to even their standards, but cold for a Southern California.
Yeah, like I called this guy Hans, who's amazing, that we used to tour with. Team Hans, they rent vans and everything. I think we asked them, we're like, you have vans? Like, yeah, no one's touring. No one's touring in the winter. I'm like, yeah, of course me. Yeah, like, nobody's touring right now in the winter because they don't want to kill themselves. So
yeah,
I'm just going to go out there and die.
And maybe die.
Just die.
Well, so who are you going to all tour with? Because as a solo artist, how does that work? So do you get a van? Are you getting a smaller van? What staff are you bringing with you?
Staff.
Yeah, like, crew, I guess, better term.
So I'm bringing 8 people.
No.
Yeah. I have a merch person who has an assistant.
Okay.
I
was going to say, I was like, this is not real.
Staff. Bringing staff. One day, hopefully soon, before I'm 32. I'll be 28, so I'm not 30. I'm saying that. But hopefully before, in the next 2 years, I can have a staff. That'd be rad. But so I just did a tour. I'll tell you. I'll fill you in. So the first solo show I did out of state.
Yeah.
I had an expired license. I begged, and which is not that's not
the worst thing.
Doom, doom, doom. That was here we go.
Volumes did worse things.
I'm gonna Tarantino you expired license.
Yeah.
I had an expired license, and my car was. I didn't have a car at the time. I was in between cars. I got in this horrible accident.
No.
And I didn't have a car, but I had a show booked in Vegas that I was really excited about. And I begged my mom for her Mini Cooper, and she knew that I had an expired license. And she was just like, no, my mom's really cool, but she's very, she's cool, but she's just doesn't fuck with cops. She's not I don't fuck with cops. She's just no, I don't
don't break the law.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She's at the end of my day, I don't want to deal with cops. I will, but fuck that.
Yeah.
So she's no, you have an expired license. You're not taking my car across,
state lines.
Yeah, state lines. No. So I begged her, and she finally let me. So I hop in my mom's car with she's check. Well, yeah, shit ton of merch, just packed in the back. I check the tire count before I go. It's 0 thread. I'm like, fuck it, we'll be fine. I go pick up my dude Roy. Shout out Roy if you're watching this. It was just his birthday. Happy birthday to you, my man.
Happy birthday, Roy.
Yeah, I love Roy. Roy's helped me a lot with a lot of things. He was I begged him to come DJ for me and explain to him we're playing in a vet hall. in Henderson.
Oh, I've been to
in
that
Henderson.
venue. It's so tight.
So
the chandelier,
fans.
light, fan,
Dude,
whatever those are.
My guy.
Those are so sick.
My guy. The first thing I did,
Awesome
I'll show you the
time.
video when we wrapped up. Remind me. The first thing I did when I walked in, and Roy's in the video, is I go, dude, these fans are so fucking cool.
Yeah, they're sick.
I didn't even care about anything else. I was like, oh my God, these are so fucking tight. Like, what is the deal with these fans?
Yeah.
Do they work?
Yeah, they
like,
work.
what's the deal?
They
like,
work.
are they? How old are they? Like, what's going on?
Probably old.
They're just like huge, clunky, rotate. Like, there's.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. I've played
Yeah,
a
me
lot of
neither.
vet halls. But yeah, like, so that was where the show was, and we drive out there, and we show up, and like, I'm like, no, it's a vet hall, but I'm like, okay, dude, like, it's a floor show, like, okay, but I was like, if there's like 100 kids, like, I'll be stoked. If there's 50 kids, I'll be stoked. So there's 13 people that are there, including like an 8-year-old girl who's like spinning like in like circles, like in a tutu or something. Like the whole time I'm like playing and trying to be like. So, but it was cool. Like everyone was nice and everything, and like I'm a dude. I'm like I was bummed, like just like wow, this was a whole process, like coming out here and like no one bought like a shirt or anything, and like I went out after that and was fine, but like it didn't like break me down, like, oh, I'm never doing this again. But it was just like a really interesting, like, whoa, dude, like and that leads to my friend Austin, who's Austin Gall. Do you know Austin Gall?
No.
No, he knows he knows who you are. He does like emo night in Omaha, and he's booked like pretty much. He booked like every volume show that I played in Omaha, and he books a lot of other bands, and a lot of people know him. He's a great guy.
Okay.
But from that experience, that kind of led to me like being like, okay, you need someone that's like helping you out, helping you make these decisions. So that was that tour. That was that show.
Yeah.
I did a tour last spring in like an SUV. I brought my buddy Brett with me. This guy Beef. Who's an amazing person, amazing human. I love him so much. One of my closest friends. And this guy Josh, who's from Omaha, who's another great kid. And we were in this like a Dodge Journey. So I don't know, like it's not. There's a bigger SUV called like the Durango, or like it's like the new Durango.
Yeah.
And then there's like the Journey, which is like super like modest SUV, like a midsize. And we were like piled in that thing. And I had this huge, giant, clunky plus sign out with me that like lit up.
That's sick.
And we like stuffed that in there.
Talk about that
too.
What?
The
sign?
Plus
sign? Yeah, I want to know
the
like
plus
where
sign
did
was
you?
We were just like,
Because you got it tatted, I see.
Yeah, like it's. I just have like a small tattoo on my knuckle of it. The plus sign is basically okay. Like what it really, we were like you need like a symbol, because my name, like we were like getting over my name, which I still am like thinking about possibly like not changing my name, but like maybe dropping my first name. That's like something I've been toying with. I don't know if it's the right time right now.
Yeah.
But we were just like, it's for whatever reason, like we were throwing around ideas, and we were like,
Barr would be cool.
yeah. So we used, they wanted exactly. So that's what we're kind of leaning towards. Letting you guys in on this think tank right now, which I don't do. I'm so secretive. But it was something we're toying with, and we've been toying with it prior. And my kind of solution was a symbol.
Okay.
Everyone, like cool dude symbol. But the plus sign, like I just always used to draw pluses. Like I don't know why, just like it's so easy to draw. And so I started thinking it and getting like really fucking like being like spiritual and like being like all like open-minded about it. And I sat down and I wrote a bunch of reasons like what it means to me, like an asshole. And there's just a lot of stuff where it's like that main thing, like it's 2 lines, it's easy to draw. It's like very inclusive, like anyone can do it. So
that's
like stuff like that, or just like kind of like there's a crazy like God, I'm not gonna even touch on it because I can't even remember it. I don't want to sound like I'm retarded, but there's this whole like thing about like chromosomes and the plus sign with like plant life.
Oh, really?
And like that lead stuff like that. So there's like a nature aspect to it, and the symbol for that
like
in science is a plus sign for whatever.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like weird things where I just looked that up. After I made the decision to use it, I was like,
You're like, actually, it was a good decision.
Actually, let me research this. let me actually see how far I put the shoe in my mouth this time, the foot in my mouth. But I looked it up, and everything was just like cool. So I was like, all right, and I just like it, and the light up thing looks really cool on stage.
That's tight.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing like deep. It doesn't really. I mean, it just represents like
Almost like prosperity. Of
yeah,
some
just
sort.
like, and it's like I don't want to get too
Unity.
deep on it. Like, it's not. There's not a whole like daunting like, oh well, like so, like I had this like near death experience, and like there's nothing like that. It's not religious. It's not a cross.
Yeah.
It merely was a tactic to kind of use like one like on a flyer to stray away from my name, where you like eventually when you see the plus sign, you just associate it with me. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing extreme, nothing too extreme.
So you're saying like spiritual of some sort. Did you have like any sort of like spiritual awakening or diving into it all after Volumes, like after you left and this downtime, or what?
I mean, okay, so I think I'm just getting into the like spiritual thing. It's been like almost 2.5, I guess 2.5 years. It's almost been 3 years.
Yeah.
Since I departed.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Goes
it's
by
been
fast.
a while. I think I'm just getting into the coming out of the whole like sitting with myself, which I've had to do with a lot of different things the past 2 years, relationships and especially with leaving the band, which is a huge process for me. And I think I'm just at the mending stage, the spiritual stage, where I'm finally, and it's not like spiritual. I am like a spiritual person, and I'm pretty like, I try to stay as low to the ground as possible, if you know what I mean. I'm not really too religious, but yeah, I think I'm just at a point where I'm okay with it. You know, there was a time where I wasn't. Like there's been a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of ups and downs. But I think it's kind of making sense to me now, like that. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm supposed to be in. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. Like I hate when I'm supposed to be here. Like I respect when people say that. I get it, the confidence and everything. That's great. But I'm still like I'm inconfident. You know, I wake up every day and I have to pump myself up. Like there's a lot of stuff that happens where I might come off as like knowing what I'm doing or it being seamless for me, but behind that is a lot of mistakes and a lot of like confidence issues, you know what I mean? And so I the past 2 years, I've kind of, in all aspects of my life, have just really sat with myself and learned more about myself and kind of had to kill off a certain person that I was becoming, which is part of the band, was me leaving the band, which that was an aspect of me going like, whoa, like you're becoming, the person you're becoming is not cool, you know, like regardless of whatever creative decisions and personal things that were going on and all that stuff. For me, I was just like, this is getting weird for me, you know, like personally. So I had to go through the last few years of just like a lot of like personal challenges and a lot of super lows, and there's been a lot of ups, there's been a lot of positive things, but I think I'm just coming out of that whole process. There's just stuff like a spiral, just like a water going down the drain for not. I mean, it has been that bad, but it's just been just a little trialing times. Yeah. So yeah, I think I found myself now, and I'm just there. So it's new to me to kind of be comfortable in my own skin and deal with those confidence issues and deal with those personal relationship issues and learn from a lot of mistakes I've made and stuff like that. So that's what's definitely going on, and I'm so thankful for making those mistakes. And you know, a lot of it's been on the brunt of other people, unfortunately, and other things like that, and that's a whole other story. Yeah. But you know, just to touch on that, it's it unfortunately, like, you know, sometimes you have to fumble relationships and I don't think leaving the band was a mistake, but you know, there's I could have done it smoother, but like at the time it made sense. So those things, a lot of reflection and looking back on on that and getting to an area where it's at peace. You're at peace with all of that, and just being like, okay, like, it happened. You've said what you needed to after. You've extended the olive. You've done. You didn't just brush it off. You went back and you tried to like mend things. You did what you can. Okay, cool. Check that off the list. So I've just tried to like take my list out and go back and, make good where I can. If I can't, cool, move on. And that's kind of where I am in my life. And just, so if it's anything spiritual like that, or if there's any tier that I've hit, that's pretty much it. I've just been a lot like
self-discovery more so.
Just saying like, it's okay. Like, you've got to learn from all this stuff that you're upset about and all the stuff that angered you, and the way like don't carry it with you, and try to express that to whoever you need, whoever need be, and move on and keep it moving. And so it's a little easier for me to move on and just, there's a little bit of weight finally lifted off in the recent months for whatever reason. Thank God.
That's
God.
good.
Yeah, I'm
glad. Well, I mean, I've always thought it was super interesting, like people, like especially you guys, Volumes, you guys were young starting out, like you guys were all young. And I just feel like you're kind of almost like robbed out of this like transformative, these transformation years. Like right after high school, you change a lot, you know what I mean? Like we were just talking about this before the podcast, like there's a huge gap between like, 20 and 25 or 20 and 26, whatever. Like it doesn't seem like a lot, and like on paper it's not.
Like 20. It's like 23. Like when I was 22. Yeah. To I'll be 28 on February 6th. Yeah. Today's, what's the date?
25th.
So a couple weeks. You know? It's a gap.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. I mean, you're not. I mean, here's the thing. It's just so funny because I was thinking about you asking me. I was like, I wasn't like, I hope you asked me this question. But about the whole like touring history and stuff like that. Yeah. There was bands that we toured with where it's like becoming a man on the road wasn't an issue. I mean, there was bands that, and I shouldn't say we, but I toured with, because I mean they're still touring and they've progressed and we've all grown up and whatever. But when I was touring, in my experience personally, I'd look at other bands and it'd just be like, oh, they're like Vanna. I love Vanna. Okay, so we've toured with them a bunch. Good guys, great guys, and they were always a little older, but like for sure they're still growing up. Not. I mean, at the time this was like 7 years ago. Whatever, or like let's not 7, but let's say like 3, 4, 5 years ago. I just always looked at that band like, wow, like those two just like
have it together.
Yeah. They don't need any. They know where they. It's like not they know where they stand. I'm not saying that because they're a great band. I'm not saying that and it not coming off like that. But this is all they need. They just need like they show up on. It's like they're happy. Like they're cool. Like they're not shitty people. Like and I'm not saying that about anyone else. I'm just referring to myself. Or I'm not getting at anyone else. I'm just referring to myself. But it's like. It's so like they were such an awesome group of guys. Love Vanna, such an awesome group of guys to tour with. So cool, and bands like that where you just were on. I would always be like, whoa, like, because I'd be going through so much, and we'll all be going through so much. Yeah, when you're young and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or like or like Crown the Empire, another great band. Like they were just, I'd wake up from tour like hungover, like and like those dudes party.
Yeah, they definitely
party. I party with them and stuff like that. But like they'd be like working out together in the morning and just that camaraderie and stuff like that. So I'm like, and that's not like about like becoming a man or like growing up or like being robbed of your experience, but like for me, I just was so like I was always focused on the show. I always would like focus on the show and take that seriously. But every other part of the day was just so like problematic. And like it didn't matter if I was in a fight with someone or I just like didn't get food or whatever. Like I was just like I wasn't focusing on like the brighter, like I wasn't smelling the roses. Like I wasn't like doing what I need. I wasn't being a good boyfriend. Like I wasn't, and it was so, it could have been so easy for me to just do those things. And and go out there and just be like, this is dope, and like experience. And it's hard, and everyone has weeks like that. But like for me, it was like my experience was great. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but there was a lot. There was days and days and days of just.
You guys had a lot of personalities in that band.
And it wasn't even, it was just me. It was just what I was going through. You know what I mean? And so it's hard to like, you are robbed if you let yourself be robbed, is what I'm saying. And that's what
it's all about how
that's what it was. And every day it was just like, there was perfect examples of Vanna and Crown the Empire and other bands that I could go on and on about other bands that were so fucking cool. And like, I'm afraid they look at, looking back, they look like, what's wrong with that dude? You know what I mean? Like, we're on tour.
Yeah.
So it's so, you gotta be so careful, just of how I'd be in Europe and just be meh. Because like for whatever reason, like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? For whatever reason, and I'm in fucking Europe. Get your shit together, dude. Go out, have fun, shut the fuck up. But you can go out and you can make it a blur. You can look back on it and like obviously you have all these indifferent feelings, which I'm cool with it now. I had a lot of great experiences on top. Like they outweighed the bad. I've done a lot of cool stuff, gone a lot of cool places, and met a lot of cool people. But you can totally go out there and just fuck up. I had to come home and do a lot of groundwork and just a lot of damage control with my friends and the girl I was dating at the time, and that ultimately led to us splitting up. Was just like me losing friends or me growing away from people. I went through this whole trip of a phase where I just was overcompensating and thinking I needed to do things I didn't need to do, or getting caught up in the tour life of girls and drugs and just not, and which is like to each their own. Like if that's fine. I mean that comes part of it, and if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But that all played into me not really like becoming a man. So now I'm kind of
playing catch up.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna like, I have my shit together, but a lot of days I don't. And and that's a reflection of like where I was in my 20s. There's a lot of friends that I know that are just like, I have a friend that works at Boeing, Sean. Love you.
Shout out.
I have a lot of friends that are maybe a little older than me or my age that are just like, you like have these amazing jobs, or like my buddy Sterling, who I've worked with for the past couple of years. He has an amazing opportunity. He line produces shows and flies around the world. And that's what they were doing in their 20s, not fucking around, you know what I mean? So you can do that and you can take it seriously. You can get somewhere and blow up if you want, and just like, but you just got to take that route of like, not getting distracted. You can have those nights, but for me, it was like every tour was just like an escapism from whatever was going on,
Totally. That's what I think, like.
So there's a lot of irresponsibility in my young 20s.
Yeah.
But
it's hard.
It's hard, and you just got to be careful, So it's like, you just got to be careful when you're young and you're touring, and on any level. It could be 50 kids a night, it could be 1,500 kids a night. It's still there. That people still want to hang out, people still want to call you from home. People still are expecting you to act a certain way on the road and at home. Yeah. So you're just a young man. I started touring when I was 18. Yeah. It's a whirlwind for me.
Serious.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I mean, it's just like going back to that point, like how you're so young. It's just like it's just hard to ever find out who you are when you are living, like you're saying, escapism. It's like, it's like tour life is a different form of life. It takes on its own breed, It's
so much fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but
I miss it so much.
Yeah, you kind of put normal life on pause, and
oh yeah.
So it's kind of hard to, like, I guess, just think of normal things because you're just go.
You can. And I think it's like when you have a kid and you have like, that's my ladies.
Have a kid
That's
with
my
Michael
no,
Barr.
no. I mean, I want kids. I love kids. I love kids. But I'm just saying, my dream is to like have a wife and a kid, and still go on tour. We toured like 8 months out of the year. I toured 8 months out of the year. Not now, but I used to in volumes. But like tour like 3 or 4 months out of the year and like have my life at home, and like that works. And that could have worked for me when I was younger. Like when I had a girl, like when I had this girlfriend, this amazing chick, and for like the duration of the last 3 years I was touring the last 3 years I was touring pretty much, and like I could have done what I needed to do, you know, to make it work, you know what I mean? For every reason, my priority was other things at the time, you know what I mean? But yeah, like you can do it. You can make it work.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah,
You don't have to be like, oh, I have a kid, so now I have to stop having fun on the road. Like you could start your first tour and just keep it buttoned up and I took it seriously, but I just got distracted by a lot of shit. The classic cliche story. Happens to everybody.
Yeah, and you guys are from LA too, so it's kind of, I think you know what's around, and you know that was, I think, a whole nother different thing that Volumes faced is like you guys, like I look at a lot of bands like from Atlanta, whatever, and they kind of were just all friends and brought each other up. You know, Woe Is Me spawned, you know, Of Machines Of Machines spawned Woe Is Me and Issues, and then Issues kind of helped out Nightmares, and then Nightmares helped out this band, and like blah blah. But like Volumes, like you guys didn't have people that helped you out. Like you became friends with people, but like you guys kind of just like popped off and it worked. But I mean, we put a lot of footwork in, which is still like, you know, they still do that. Like I know those dudes just played a show in LA in like a Ham on Everything event, which is an amazing group of people here in LA that do like events like weekly, nightly. They do really cool stuff. Speaking of genre meshing. Yeah, for
so
sure.
Like they're still doing, like, that's very much their style. But yeah, I mean, we put just a lot of like, we weren't too concerned about like where it was or who was playing with, and I think that helped us a lot with bigger people that used to do that and like got to a level like on My Cement, like they were great to us, you know. At the time when I was in the band, they were so good to us and hooking us up with stuff. So a lot of it was just, I guess, we were just super stoked to be like, wow, we're just like, yeah, like Volumes, like, oh, they're just really stoked to be here. Like, oh, that band, like, whatever, like they're stoked to be here. And that was the thing, is like we were just super happy to be like on tour with whoever gave us the opportunity. Like we like Dying Fetus tour, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, let's do it. Let's have some fun. And that was one part that kept me going for the duration, was just, that was I thought that was super cool. I thought that was super cool about us. I was like, wow, like we're down to show our colors wherever need be. Like, give us a stage, we'll be there. So I think that was the connotation for us, like coming up and opening like bigger tours and other people giving that to us, giving that opportunity. I mean, I was no walking. There was a lot of times I messed up in the band on stage with business people, like behind the scenes. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that I did, you know, personally too. I had some run-ins and stuff like that. But I think we always apologized. We were always very like genuine. There was nothing disingenuous, despite whatever happened. It was always, at the end of the day, damn, like these dudes are genuine as fuck. So that helped.
Yeah,
that helped a lot. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the formation, because I don't think I've ever actually talked about it with you. Like how did Volumes come to be the form it was when you joined? What all did you hear, and how did it all?
Yeah, so it started out. It was already an idea between, I believe it was Daniel Bronstein, who's I still work with, who's a really close friend of mine, fucking amazing guy. I love you, Dan.
Shout out Dan.
If you're watching this.
You better be watching this,
Yeah,
Dan.
so he produces all my music now, and he's just fucking awesome. And Gus and Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an idea that they had. So when me and Gus were always like, oh, like we were hanging out before that. So he used to be in a band called the Unborn that Daniel was in, and they were huge in our area. They played a lot of big shows, and I was at all their shows, and all my friends were, and like that was the thing to do, is like go to an Unborn show at the Cobalt.
Yeah.
They used to play, like, they were dope. And I had another friend like Coco who was in the band. Wesley Singerman and Taylor Dexter, all these people. This kid Emerson, who I'm still, I'm still close with all these people, and they were like gonna get signed to Century Media and all these things. For whatever reason, it disbanded. So that's kind of how Volumes. I think I just spit in your cup.
Oh, did you?
I think so.
Oh,
I'm just joking. But I definitely spit again. I don't know what's going on. But that kind of disbanded, and I think that's what led to the idea of Volumes. And then I remember just like one night, there was this little venue in Canoga Park called the Guitar Merchant, and I forget who was playing there, but I was there, and it's basically around the corner from the Cobalt. So it's like sometimes you go to the Cobalt, then you go to the Guitar Merchant, you know what I mean, and go catch a show there. So I was there, and I remember just like walking out. We would all hang out in the back alley right there all the time, and I remember Daniel had his car parked right there on the street. I don't remember who came up to me. It was either one of the three of them, Gus or Diego or Daniel, and they showed me Intake, the riff, in Daniel's truck. He had this big truck at that time. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like, I was like, this is insane. And like, I just remember them being like, oh, like, what do you think of this? Like, and I don't remember exactly the conversation, but I remember it led, and I don't think it happened that night, but it kind of led to like us just like me checking out more music and us hanging out more and more. And then it being like, oh, like, we should do a 2-singer thing. Like, Set Your Goals. Like, I was obsessed with Set Your Goals at that time.
Yeah.
I used to go to shows and just fathom, like, dude, the energy with 2 singers is just great. And me and Gus used to go to shows. We used to go to Set Your Goals shows. I think we went to a couple. Specifically one, we went to a Warped Tour date together. And I remember that's kind of, I think, when the band was cultivating and the idea and who was going to be in it and stuff like that. And we were like dead set, like, oh, like we need 2 singers. Like, I forget if it was his or mine, but we were just like, it was kind of like at that time, everyone hung out together. And it wasn't like, there was like a bunch of people around that, like not a bunch of people around the Volumes idea, but there's like a bunch of friends that were all there and, whatever. And I think like, we didn't really know like who was gonna be in the band or anything like that. Even if I was gonna, but I just remember listening to the music and like hanging out with them at that time, like a lot consecutively, and then having that idea kind of spark from Set Your Goals and Set Your Goals shows, and being like, this 2-singer thing is fucking rad, and like bands like Despised Icon. But I think seeing if we can take this thing Set Your Goals has, where everyone's bouncing and running around, even though we're not like pop punk band, and we can put it into what we're doing, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the spark, and then it just led to, like, I remember our first practice and our first show. We played at like a rec center in Calabasas.
Oh yeah.
It was really weird.
They've had, I think, a lot of famous people have played at that rec center, because I remember someone saying like, I think Justin Bieber played there in the early days, and I think Never Shout Never played there in his early days.
I saw
Miley Cyrus
from a second story window. See You Next Tuesday. Life in Your Way. Do you remember that band?
Yeah.
Fucking amazing band.
Yeah, they were big.
Yeah, I saw them there.
It was kind of a
was super
popular
weird.
weird spot. Yeah, I don't know. It was like,
It's just like it was like your if you like on tour, like you go play like a youth center. Like
yeah,
we used to do it.
It was like the VFW hall in Vegas.
It was
but
just like
here.
it was like a super nice. We played it. I forget what band it was. Intervals? No, I don't know. Intervals, or I think they're from Michigan. Are they from Michigan?
Intervals? I don't know.
I
always get them confused with like
shoving
structures
the shoe further down my throat. It was a long time ago. I forget what band it was. Intervals or no, no. Oh God, dude, so many like gent bands. We played this. They're not probably watching, but if they see this, it's gonna be funny. We played this really sick rec center where it was like a stage and it was like a mini little venue. Like,
Okay.
but then there was like like an office like next like on the hallway and like a basketball court.
Uh-huh.
But it was packed. It was packed. I think it was in Michigan. I think I remember it was in Michigan. I forget what band it was. I want to say it was Intervals, but there probably wasn't. They're probably not from Michigan. So if you're watching this and you're fans of Intervals,
Everyone in the comments is going to tear you apart.
Don't fucking hate me. Don't hate me. But I can't remember what band, but I remember it was like, it was just such a good show. So that was a good rec. It's hard. Yeah, rec centers. Let's talk about rec centers.
Yeah, dude. So what rec center you been to lately? What rec center you playing ball at?
I need to do that.
Yeah, dude.
I need to do that. I need to play fucking
On the
ball.
topic of ball, we were talking about
right,
Lakers
right.
before this. I just want to talk a little more about it because I know you're a huge Lakers fan. I'm a big
Huge
Lakers fan. Of
Huge.
course, LA Lakers. Go
Huge
Lakers.
fan.
So yeah, Lonzo Ball is like he's from right where I live, which is Chino Hills, and I live 2 cities away in Glendora.
Did you see him when you?
I've seen Lonzo and Melo at the Chino Hills Shops, which is like a little shopping center over there. They've got like, they've got like a Yard House and like a Barnes and Noble and like a Old Navy and shit. Just your classic outdoor little mall.
Right.
And I've seen him there before. I've seen a couple of the guys from the team over there. And it's crazy. But yeah, it's just so crazy how they came from such a small town to now being like one of the biggest, like the Kardashians, the male version of the Kardashians, I feel like, at this point.
Dude, so yeah, his father's nuts.
Yeah.
His father's crazy. What's up with, he's like, that kid, poor kid.
Yeah,
He has so much pressure.
like, especially Lonzo. Yeah, he's.
What's going on? What's going on with the dad?
I think he's just a marketing genius. That guy.
No, you like him?
I mean, I don't love him, but I think he's smart. I think he's smart. The ridiculous shit he says.
You think he's smart?
It all works, though. It all works. Like, whether he's right or not, it works. Like, he's in the headlines constantly. And even SportsCenter, it's so funny. Like, I, subscribe to SportsCenter on YouTube. And they're always like, we don't talk about LeVar Ball, but... And then there's, like, a 3-minute video dedicated to him.
I think you saying he's smart is the equivalent of saying, like, a rapper that you just... Because we all have one that we're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that 6'9" guy.
Okay, for you, that's him. I like him.
Oh, you like him? Yeah.
Here's where this cancels out. Because
Yeah.
you like fucking LeVar, whatever his dad's.
Yeah, LeVar Ball.
I like 6'9".
Yeah.
But I think, okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's the equivalent of saying, oh, yeah, like, it works if you see a rapper and you don't like anything he's doing, and then, like, me go about to tell you, well, dyeing your hair rainbow and getting every tattoo on your
It's
body
true.
6'9". Like, I'm like, this is great.
Yeah. I mean,
This is amazing.
It works.
Did you see the video of him not getting catched?
oh, yeah, just
So
falling in the crowd.
As a hardcore kid,
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I think you shouldn't expect it from a rap crowd because...
But it usually works for him.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean,
usually
really?
kids now, that's the thing, is everyone jumps in the crowd at rap shows.
I want to know what city it was in because I didn't hear that.
It was in New York.
Oh, New York? His
He was in his-
hometown?
Let me hear. I'm gonna just
Wow.
double check. 6'9", I love you. I'm not trying to.
He's for sure watching this.
I'm not trying to. Yo, dude. Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. No, yeah, I mean...
I'm not trying to fucking throw shade, but I just want to let's see. I think it was in New York.
That's crazy because that's his hometown. He's from Brooklyn, right? Or Brooklyn or Queens? I think Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn.
Is
Yeah, he's from Brooklyn. So I know he's like always repping New York and all that, and
I can't find it.
it's just crazy, man. What do I think about it? I mean, I saw that happen with Post Malone too, and like I'm just like, man, we wouldn't have done you like that, Post Malone. We would have done you a solid and carried your ass.
I can't find it. I'm not gonna look for it. So it happens.
It happens.
And it was in New York, I think. That was like the catch. It was like his hometown.
Like, his hometown doesn't give a shit about.
Which, hey, chill out. It happens. Things happen. It was probably a bougie crowd or something.
Yeah, any given night could be different. Like there are dope LA shows that you guys have played.
He's coming to LA on the 20th of February.
Really?
Wait, yeah. Yeah, he's coming February at
lit.
Belasco.
I mean, I would shoot
Damn,
him.
I'm plugging away for him.
I would shoot him. I would, like, camera-wise, not with a
DM.
gun, just to be...
DM him right now. Not with
Yeah.
a gun.
Not with a gun. No, I mean, I'd shoot
We're
a
so
show.
white.
Yeah, right.
We're white. By the way, we live in Irvine, California.
Yeah.
We share an apartment. We share a really one of those nice
Yeah.
complexes with like its own garage.
We both have Audis.
Yeah, I don't.
An
I don't
Ace.
have an Audi.
We both have A6s, and they're both black, and they are both
I
plastic
know
dipped.
2 dudes that do. I know 2 dudes that do that are
Really,
gonna
though?
for sure watch this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that really is a thing,
And they do
though.
share a house.
It
and
really is a thing.
They both have Audis and girlfriends and
Stereotypes are a real
They both
thing.
live together.
Unfortunately, they're a real thing.
They remind me how unput together my life put together my life is.
I know. I wonder how much
Sean and
spit-
Dan.
Sean and Dan.
You know Sean Chameleon?
Mm-mm.
You don't know? He's in the Runaway Kids. He was the guitarist of Betrayal.
I mean, I don't personally know him. I've definitely
Good dude.
seen him around. I think,
Good dude.
But
You should do an interview with him if you're trying to just get out.
Yeah.
He's fucking does a lot of cool things.
yeah.
Merch designs. You're like, yeah, totally.
No,
Yeah.
no. I mean,
Yeah.
for real. No, I mean, that's a lot of people don't know this, but I'm gonna make this podcast very broad. It's not just gonna be metal musicians. It's also gonna be, people like you. You are. We also haven't talked about your clothing line and whatnot.
My clothing line, yeah. Well,
But-
Sean, there you go.
Sean,
Stars
perfect.
aligning. Sean helped me out with a lot of stuff that you've seen recently on Status of Mine. I still
Mm-hmm.
that's my clothing line or clothing line. Okay. Let's be real. It's not a clothing line.
It's a clothing line.
It's not a clothing line. Real clothing lines have like spring, summer, and they have their
Seasons,
shit together and they do things.
But I mean,
It's something I do.
Company.
It's something I do for fun. It's a brand. It's like kind of my brand. I don't really have merch,
Mm-hmm.
so I just stick to Status of Mine.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I have fun with it. It's cool. It's another outlet for me. I've always loved clothes, and
Mhm.
I think a lot of people know that about me. And always been into fashion, and
yeah, you know Danny from Neck Deep, right?
of course,
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause he
Rain.
loves volumes.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
And
Danny's. Yeah, me and him. Like I haven't talked to him in like probably a year or two, but
Yeah.
I see the Rain like thing, the Rain.
He's killing it.
The Rain movement.
Yeah, he's
And
killing it.
He's just. I remember like when, I think I gave him some stuff and he's just always was like, "This is great." I don't know if
Yeah.
that's how he sounds. This is great, and like he always like had like he always had a good like a keen eye.
Yeah,
Is that Australian or or
maybe
British? But they're dope. They always are up on their
fashion.
fits.
Yeah, all of them are
And-
actually. They have
and
their own
the
thing.
rain stuff is really cool, and I think he has a store,
Yeah, he does in Wales.
which is super impressive. And I know him and his lady kind of do the
they co-op
logistics,
it,
which
yeah.
is fucking another like awesome.
He
thing.
says he's moving the shop also. I don't know if that probably is not exclusive
so. Go
information.
get it's rain supply. Go get rain supply.
Another plug.
Go get I'm too nice.
Go to 6ix9ine, go to Michael Barr, and go to Rain Supply.
Let's do a video. Me 6ix9ine
plug.
and just all wearing rain.
Yep. And there you go.
Yeah.
Call it a fucking
And then
day.
Sean Chameleon will
Run the merch.
well he'll co-design the merch with Danny.
and it'll be a hit.
and you'll film it.
Yeah.
And you'll film the
And I'll
video.
film it. Yeah. I guess he said he's moving it to Manchester, which is like a huge city in
Okay. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, huge city. So I mean, obviously, way better than like I think it's in a small city in Wales, which
Yeah.
is like a small
Still,
city.
just
in
to
a
have
small
like
country.
a brick and mortar
Yeah.
storefront, that's
a big deal.
I want some. Me and my friend have been trying to. My friend just moved to New York. Trey, Trey.
Oh yeah, Trey. Shout out Trey.
Hey Trey,
Awesome.
happy birthday, Trey.
It's his birthday today?
It was just his birthday.
Oh.
It was just his birthday, 16th of
16th, okay.
January. Me and him have been talking about getting something somewhere, whether it's LA or New York, and it kind of being a brand, maybe Status of Mind, maybe something different where it's just like good finds, cool stuff, a lot of maybe some childhood like vintage stuff, like
Hell yeah.
really down to earth.
I remember I
shit.
saw you at Warped Tour with that wrestling shirt, and I like complimented on you because I love WWF, dude.
Dude, I love that shirt.
Especially the
I
nostalgia.
don't know where it is right now.
And you were like, check out this store, and I was like, oh, dude, I gotta go. I didn't get to go, but it was I think it was on Melrose. you
round
said.
2.
Yeah, round 2.
Yeah, round 2 is fucking awesome.
I was like, this
go
is
there
sick.
a lot. Yeah, round 2 is great. There's always good shit in round 2. If you're looking for something good on Melrose, round 2, and like everyone everyone in round 2 is so cool. Every time they don't like know me or anything like that, but when I go in there, they're just really like knowing. It's just cool. You can go on Melrose. There are a lot of pretentious people and
Yeah.
a lot of egos and stuff like that.
For sure.
And a lot of wild stuff, but they're just for the most part really cool people.
Yeah, I love anything that I just watched like a thing on Hypebeast of this guy that just sells like vintage t-shirts. He goes to like swap meets, he goes on eBay, he goes everywhere. He searches for vintage shirts everywhere and he basically just resells them. He sold them to Kanye, he sold them to like just a bunch of celebrities, but obviously most notably Kanye.
Yeah.
And like Travis Scott and stuff, and I'm just like, dude, that's so sick that he just like finds actual vintage shirts and like he'll like repair them and stuff, like fill holes and bleach them and whatever. And it's just, I think that's a really cool thing that's going on right now is like the the rebirth of vintage stuff. It's like,
Dude, I have that whole rack is like, so there was a thing I posted called Cult Closet, and I was pushing it for like a couple days, and then I took my foot off the gas. I'm super transparent, guys, with what I do. It's just like we're all learning together. I don't care about how it looks, but I love vintage clothing. I have such cool shit, and I have a lot of I'm really into like women's stuff, like not like high fashion. I'm really bad with high end clothing, like high end fashion, like Gucci, like vintage stuff. Like it's really cool. Like I respect it.
Hard to be a collector of.
No, I mean I will if I had the bank account.
Exactly.
But it's like more just like really cool finds, like Harley. I love Harley stuff.
Okay.
And I love NASCAR stuff, and I love just like satin jackets and old, like t-shirts, jackets, like hats and cool shit like that, like old shoes and like classic shoes, like a classic pair of like retro ones, like Jordan ones that are like actually that are like fucked up and like has some like shit. So I'm doing this thing called Cult Closet. Plug for myself. I'm doing this thing called Cult Closet. That's really preliminary, and you'll see it coming out before tour. I'm gonna announce it, and it's kind of just like, yeah, like I love vintage clothes and the process and like shopping for it. It's like super therapeutic for me, and I just love having cool finds. And I've kind of hoarded this collection of like 150 pieces from like like small like shirts for like everything's unisex really, like but
especially in the 80s and stuff like that.
Especially in the 80s. No, but just kind of like the vibe I'm going for. Like I have a lot of like stuff for women, a lot of stuff for dudes too. And just like I'm obsessed with like finding good stuff. Like it's been like this new thing for me. Like I'll go to the studio, and then I'll go to like the Rose Bowl or go to like the Melrose Training Post, and or like go to like Wasteland's a great store that I love to go to on like down in Hollywood. There's one in the Valley too, and just geek out on like super cool stuff, like just really cool finds. I don't know. The coolest thing I found lately was I found like so much Harley shit. I found this jacket that's like super thin, that says like it's like a hoodie with like it's like a windbreaker from like the 80s for sure, and it has has the tassels that hang. So it has like this aesthetic with like kind of like these drawstrings that hang down, and it's tight. Like a little like sun dried, so it's a little beaten, and it has like the Harley Davidson on the back. Yeah. And it says like Cabos San Lucas, and then it says Harley Davidson Mexico. Things like that. I'm just like, like I can't leave. I can't leave without this. Like, or like that's why I started Cult Closet, is because I've had so many like mishaps where I've like, oh, this will fit me, and then I'll go home.
Damn it.
And it's just like, it's like a large that shrunk because it's vintage shit. So it's like, or it's like someone like dried it a million times and turned it in, or it's like I looked or the tags cut off sometimes, and you look and it's like turns out to be like a medium,
and you're like,
So yeah, look out for that. It's just gonna be an Instagram where you just DM for the product.
That'd be awesome.
No website, like very stripped down, super easy, like 1, 2, 3 step easy. Like you just DM the Instagram account, and then I send you the shirt.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so I'm starting that. It'll probably be I leave for New York in like on the 8th of February, So the next 2 weeks, you'll see
A lot of stuff coming out.
me. Yeah, well, you'll see. Yeah, I have. That's the singles coming out, and then the Cold Closet thing will start to take effect. So if you're into vintage stuff, I have a lot of cool shit, a lot of cool stuff ready to go. Hats, shirts, jackets, shoes,
all the good stuff.
Yeah.
I know you said I think we talked about this a long time ago, but I think you said you've gotten a lot of stuff from your parents, right? Like, your dad had a lot of sick jackets, and your mom had some stuff too.
No, I wish.
No,
I wish.
Damn.
I have a lot of cool like memorabilia. I have such cool like. I don't know if you can see in the frame, but like those are my dad's and my mom's, and like just cool shit of that like they've kept. Mm-hmm. That's how I am. Like my family's like really sentimental.
Yeah.
So I keep like everything. Like Trey like left me a note the other day.
Frame it.
He left me a note because the day he was leaving for New York, like he crashed here and I had to leave early for some. I think I had to go to the studio to finish the EP, and I came back to like a note on a paper towel. It was like it was cool. Like I had like a paper towel, like a bunch of numbers written or a bunch of doodling, and it was just sitting there. So he wrote me like, "Thanks for everything, dude." Like, nice. So it's like something I saved. Yeah. That like one day, like I'll be like, well, I don't know, shit like that. So there's stuff like my parents have like that they've handed me down. Like my dad's like lyrics that he used to write, or just like I don't know, like because my dad was in the music industry.
Yeah.
He has like a bunch of like he has papers that just have like people's numbers from like it's like Atlantic and it's from like the 80s.
Sick.
Just like stuff he's
that's
like
cool.
Like I'll say like John or like I don't know, like
something that could be dead by
like
now,
some Jewish name, and then
Weinstein,
like right, like Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, yeah.
No,
fuck him.
But yeah, like like
Crazy.
John Levitz, which is an actual comedian. Never mind. But you know what I mean, like stuff like that. Yeah, they gave me a lot of cool stuff. They're cool about that. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that for my kids too. Is save a lot of cool memorabilia.
Yeah, like even like the tour posters you have and stuff are really cool.
Yeah, just like I have all my old tour posters and
that's awesome.
Just shit, just cool stuff. And that's kind of that's why I have like a weird color. Like people come over like, do you wear this stuff? And I'm like, no, it's just I collect clothes. And I was like, you need to like do something with this stuff. Else you people are like gonna think you're weird. Like
the hoarder.
Like a girl comes over and she's like,
what the fuck?
Does someone else live here?
Yeah. Does a girl live here from the 80s?
Yeah, like, is there another girl here?
Yeah.
Like, oh, my God.
Have you ever implemented any of like your dad's lyrics into like Volumes lyrics or anything like that? Or anything, or even your solo stuff?
Well, there's a song called Small Talk that I did, and that he had a band.
Small Talk,
so that's the band. They were on a record. They were signed to Columbia.
Hell yeah.
Records in the 80s. And that's... I was running out of steam for a name for that song, and the subjectivity of that song is kind of like, it's kind of like a fuck you, like not like just fuck you, Tim. It's kind of just like a super in your face song.
Yeah.
So I was just sitting here one day, and I think I was like sitting right here where my couch used to be until we repoed with my set dress.
Yeah, set dress.
But I was just sitting there, and I was like, oh, Small Talk, like that's cool, like. That's something cool I could do, like for my dad, and it's just that sounds cool. Like when people, that's the closest thing I've done.
Yeah. Have you ever, or I guess, how do you kind of what's different about writing lyrics for your solo stuff than it was for Volumes? I'm sure not only of you growing as a person and an artist, but just like the genre change and whatnot. So like, how do you kind of write now? Like, how is it different?
A lot of it was I used to take everything. All of it was mainly well, first off, to be candid, I didn't take sessions seriously. In fact, I did to an extent.
Yeah.
5 hours, let's go. But like anything past that, I'm like, I want to go smoke, or I want to go hang out with my girlfriend, or I want to like see my mom, or like, so. And secondly, a lot of it was take home. Like which is fine. Like I would take I just ran. It's weird. Like I can't do that anymore. Like I just don't. I don't like it. I don't want to take it home with me. It just doesn't work for me anymore.
Yeah.
So I'll get ideas, but I used to like sit at home and like knock songs out and come in and be like, okay, let's go, and go in the studio and work it out from there. But I've changed now. I just write in the studio mainly. Okay. I take the studio like 10 times more. It's like night and day. I don't have a therapist, but I have the studio.
Yeah, the studio. Yeah.
I will go to the studio. If someone called me right now, I would tell you to leave, and I would go to the studio. I love the studio so much. I've grown to respect the studio so much, and just everything that comes with it. So the process is pretty much me literally embedding myself to the studio with Daniel, all the other guys that are there, Zach, Robbie, love you guys, and just writing at my will there, and it's just so fresh and new that they just redid it too, so that helps too. So it's a lot bigger, it's a lot nicer. So especially right now, being in that environment is just so nice. But it's a lot different lyrically. You know, it's I think I'm able to go to the studio and write and it be more free because of the style of music I'm doing now.
Yeah. Which
isn't so philosophical and meticulous as far as like, you know, No Sleep was a great album as far as an example of how we branched away from that, writing metal lyrics and stuff like that. But everything prior to that was pretty like stony, out there, right? Like, which is cool. It was cool for the time, but yeah, it's super different. You know, now it's my just what I want. It's not really like what I want to talk about, because I'm not really like, there's no real message with my music except like, this is just like, you know, when you're having like a shitty day and you don't want to hear a message, like you can throw on my music or whatever, you know, like if you're a girl, you can get ready to it, you know, whatever. If you're taking a car trip, you can listen. It's not like a message or we're talking like this album's about, this is a concept album, I mean, and stuff like that. So it's easier for me. It's a lot more fun. I'm more on like the singer-songwriter end now, as more than like the frontman end. Like I'm like, let's make good music that's catchy, that is on brand, that's relevant, that's something that I think people would really enjoy. That's how I write now. It's very much, you know, it's super easy. It's like, you know, a lot of songs are about like girls, you know, and like drugs and you know, I'm trying to think what I mean. If you take it to Back Home, which is my first EP, you know, there's a song about my friend's dad on there, which is really, so I mean, it's not so much like I'm the shit, drugs, cool, like I'm still covering
it's
all
a mix.
Yeah, I'm still covering all the spectrums. And on the Back Home, there's a lot of like cool lyric stuff on here. On there, Plus One, you know, was more okay. This is a little bit on brand with, you know, my current situation, and kind of like Back Home was great, but Plus One was an effort to stray away from that. You know, I had like that. There's an acoustic song on there and stuff, which was, I love that song. I'm super proud of it. The Good and Sad, it's a great song. But we wanted to pivot. Just I was like, you know what, I know now I don't want to like do that anymore. You know, that was a very untargeted time, like a very try hard, forced time in with this new solo venture that I'm doing, where it was very, you know, I did this like. I look back and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, there's like, you know, like, and that's part of the process. We touched back on what we talked about earlier, and that was me at kind of just being so insecure as a man, as an artist, and everything, and kind of chucking this content out. And you know, it was I love Back Home, and I loved
sounded good.
What I did, and it was cool. But the just what we're doing now and the way I'm writing and the process is just so honed in and so much more like not serious, but like effortless. And I'm really comfortable with you know, not writing those lyrics anymore, and not writing like those metal lyrics and stuff like that. It's fun for me to just kind of cater to these songs and go in and just be like, shit, this would sound really cool, And I used to not be able to do that because there's this, metal's great, but you have to stay within a perimeter to not look weird or cheesy or whatever. You got to cater to that scene as well, which is it's a box.
For sure.
Look at it. So this is very like well-rounded, and there's a lot of freedom, and it's fun.
I want to talk to you about. So the first time you ever showed me your solo stuff was a long time ago. That was when we did that follow-up interview where we went up to the hills and whatnot. And you were out of volumes, but you were telling me like stuff, like maybe like Bryson Tiller, stuff like that you were listening to that you wanted to kind of gear towards. But obviously a lot has changed since then, and like Post Malone is huge.
Yeah.
What do you think of Post Malone? I just want to get your opinion on him.
I love Post Malone.
Yeah, because he's very like, I feel like he said fuck you to like the box that exists in hip hop or R&B,
I'm gonna turn off my ear. I'm freezing.
All right. 1 sec.
I love Post Malone. He's like, so the first time I heard him, I was just like, wow, this is cool. And I saw a picture of him, and I was like,
What?
see, I feel like, you don't feel like it's going to be quieter?
It'll be for sure quieter.
Should I leave it on?
No, you can. It's fine.
No, it's going to sound weird.
No, don't worry.
It's going to sound weird, Tim. I'm telling you, it's going to sound weird. Should I leave it on?
No, it's fine. Just go.
No, I'm going to leave it on. I'm just going to turn it up.
All right.
I'm telling you, it's going to be like
Well, this is uncut, so the air conditioner was on, and we were trying to turn it off, but we'll see. We'll see how it affects the noise. But either way, I mean, we're talking pretty heavily into the mic. We should be good.
I'm going to be sitting there and thinking about the sound.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it.
Set curator, sound operator, sound producer,
set designer.
So how much money am I getting for this?
Yeah. I have to pay you.
So yeah, that's way better. So I was just freezing. There's an air conditioning behind me. Post is just like, I mean, yeah, I love him. I enjoy his music. Stoney was such a good album.
Mm-hmm.
I just had so much fun listening to that when it came out. And I mean, like, yeah, even like, is Rockstar on Stoney? No.
No, Rockstar's just a single.
So yeah, I mean, I can't wait for the next, you know what I mean? Like everything he puts out is just so cool.
Gold.
It's just fun. And I think a lot of it attributes to like the way he is.
Mm-hmm.
A perfect example is like me and Trey were like, we just like, oh my God.
Put it on pause. The air conditioner. Why did it do that? It stopped again. It stopped again. It's because Michael is a OCD perfectionist, and you should definitely hire him to like place your furniture or paint anything or make.
It's not like I was like, oh no, we're setting it up this way. This just happened.
This happened,
and I put a candle here.
There was a lot of other stuff here, and we moved this, but it's great. This is a good end product,
right? It works. Okay.
It works. So yeah, everything he puts out is gold. You said you and Trey though. What?
Yeah, I remember just we just always talk about like constantly. It's like, God, we love this kid.
Yeah.
Like, God, we love this guy. And like I think a year ago we watched the interview where he's like eating chicken wings and drinking beer.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
And
one.
we were like, oh my God, like this is the most humble. Like he's just so. Like how could I've never heard anyone say anything bad about him. Like.
Other than
I know people that know him. I know people that have hung out with him and have said, like, they're just like it's like he is actually the coolest person.
Yeah.
And or someone that's just a fan been like,
yeah, Crown the Empire went to high school with him.
It's like how so many people I know have met him. Yeah. It's insane. I'm like, what is going on? Like,
did you know that?
Because he's so cool. Yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
And then the dude's in Sworn In and shout out Sworn In.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I tweeted that thing, and he was.
I know you fucking.
I instigated it.
He's probably like, God, this guy Tim just won't leave me alone.
I know. He's like,
what's with this
one of these
guy?
days? I almost met him. I actually almost met him at the Viper Room. He was, you know who Jared Dines is?
No.
Jared Dines is like this big YouTuber in the metal world, and he does like, 5 faces drummers make, and blah, blah, blah. He makes all these crazy viral videos.
Okay.
He's got like almost 2 million subscribers, I think. And he's good friends with Post. And I've seen him at Post's show that I shot one time, and his band was playing at the Viper Room, and his band was opening for Jared's band. And he's like, yo, Post Malone's here. Like, you should come down. And I was like, all right, for sure. Came through, and he had like, oh, Post just left, like literally 2 minutes ago. Like I just missed him.
Yeah, I've just heard like really fucking just really cool thing. I had a roommate here once that was hanging out with him, and she's just like would come home and be like, yeah, like he's fucking tight. Like that dude's like dope, and I'm like, yeah, that's fucking. Yeah, so I like him a lot. He's cool.
Yeah,
he's good fun. Good
and
fun.
also sounding wise, like he writes
and
hits,
that's the thing.
you know?
And he's doing something different in rap. Like he's so. And that's the thing is like you have like, I don't know if you know like the whole Russ thing, how like
yeah,
which like Russ is like slightly like always not like annoyed me, but like.
That was the nail.
I
in the
just was like,
coffin
oh,
for you.
like I'm not surprised. Like
Yeah.
when I saw this, like there was like something in the air, if you will, or something
Yeah.
like that. And it's not like I don't dislike
Mhm.
him or whatever, but when that whole thing happened, I think it wasn't Rolling Loud, it was Day and Night Fest where you like wore the shirt, and now like there was this whole thing with
Peep and all
him
that,
and
yeah.
with him and everything. But that's the thing is Post is kind of like. We all know he like doesn't sip lean. He doesn't smoke weed. He's so cool. He's just so cool to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't matter like what like if you know like he's with. It doesn't matter, and that's kind of like. I'm not saying like oh I'm like, but that's kind of like I can relate to that. Like I'm really like okay cool like I have a lot of friends that do a lot of dumb shit but I'm still friends. You know it's so cool to see a young guy that's so successful, that has so like. Has it going on right now, and using his platform to like not like he's just being so like you know he's just him. He's not trying to do anything different. He's not trying to live up to anyone else's expectation or be somewhat like you know be who his fans want to be. He's just like he says he's like I'm just doing posts, like just doing how Posty does.
Yeah.
Whatever. I really enjoy him.
Yeah.
I really enjoy him.
Yeah, him and like Knocked Loose are another artist that's just blowing up. And I mean, you've seen Post Malone. The reason I'm thinking about them is because I saw Post Malone jamming their stuff. You know?
Oh, he's listening to Knock Loose now?
Oh yeah, he's
yes.
Yeah, it's like
you know I fucking love Knock Loose.
Yeah, dude, Knocked Loose is amazing.
I love Knocked Loose.
Yeah,
I've only met them like once.
They're tight dudes.
And they were so cool, and like they got me into their show, and yeah, like I don't even think they know who I am or anything like that, but
they definitely know who Volumes is.
They probably,
for sure.
probably, but I just am like probably this weird guy they see like like who's this fucking dude? Like he's always, but I love them. They're such a good band, and they're just like like they're really doing well. And I saw Keith Buckley kind of get behind them recently.
Oh yeah.
Who's also an amazing person. I just was like, wow, good for these cats. Like, good for these guys. These guys really deserve it.
Yeah, at my interview with Brian, he was like, yeah, Keith had a running joke with us. Or it was either Keith or Jordan was like saying, this next song is older than the guitarist of Knocked Loose. And then they play. Because, like, Isaac was 19 at the time, their guitarist. And so it's just crazy.
That's Isaac Hale.
Yeah.
That's my guy who got me into the show.
Oh, for sure.
Shout out Isaac.
Shout out Isaac.
Yeah, he's super cool. Yeah, just like I just saw them at Warped Tour, and their reception was just so well received, and they brought
you saw them, right?
Yeah, they brought a bunch of people out on stage, and
yeah, everyone was doing features in
just fucking
Pomona.
rad.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
they were so rowdy.
It's good times. It's good. It's what heavy music especially that scene needs right now is like a band that's like just like them.
Yeah.
Like there's no gimmick. Like it's just
good, heavy.
Like, and they're playing in front of like big ass crowds.
Yeah.
Like, that is awesome.
They're just in Japan, like literally. Actually, I think Brian, the vocalist, is still in Japan. But they played a bunch of shows in Japan and killed it.
So dark.
Yeah, it just got really dark in here. Sorry about that. Clouds.
God.
Sorry.
Damn you.
Just send your at God. Why did you do this? But yeah, they're killing it in Japan. They killing it in Australia. They were just in Australia.
Yeah.
Killing it in Europe.
I mean,
killing it
let's
here.
just be real. They're everywhere.
Yeah,
they're gonna slay.
Yep.
Have they gone to Europe yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were there with, I think, Every Time I Die as well. Yeah, and maybe Stick to Your Guns, something like that.
Unreal. Unreal tour.
Yeah, Yeah, and
what a
Every Time I
lineup.
Die is
That lineup.
crazy
That was just,
already.
Stick to Your
And
Guns.
Stick to Your Guns, too.
Such
yeah.
a good band.
Yeah.
You're from Orange County.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, their shows pop off
Yeah.
over there, especially.
Yeah.
Like, I saw them at a church in Rancho.
Yeah.
And I've never, ever seen crowd surfing on a stage. Like, there were so many people on the stage that people were crowd surfing on the stage.
Right.
That's how many people there were.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is insane.
Another
Like, people
great
with
group of dudes.
surfboards.
Nicest
Boogie
guys.
boards.
Nicest dudes. We played with them we used to play with them a couple times.
Yeah.
Such good dudes.
Yeah, and they are really, they have good intention. You know, they're not
They're just-
douchebags at all. They're just
Yeah, dude.
very good guys.
Yeah, fucking great music, good guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, yeah, Knocked Loose is killing it. So, yeah, I just, just thinking of these popular artists and how Warped Tour is kind of changing. The other artist that's kind of popping off right now is Movements, but they're kind of in the opposite direction. They're, like, more towards, like, the, like, Balance and Composure style or, like, Touche Amore or something like that.
I love Movements.
Yeah, they're great.
I love Movements. So that whole, like, scene, or I hate that word, but, like, all those bands, like
Yeah, I know.
Basement, Movements, Balance and Composure, Title Fight,
Title Fight,
what have
yeah.
you, all those bands.
Turnover.
What a-
Turnover's really good.
Oh, Turnover's great. What a cool fucking scene.
Mm-hmm.
What a group of, like, all those, like, everyone I'd run into that's, plays in a band like that or is in one of those bands. I don't know anybody in Movements or anything like that, but Basement was kind of my way. Like, I was like a year or two ago, I was like, whoa, this band knows how. I was like, how old are these guys? And I was like, this is like, reminds me of like swimming in my pool when I was fucking 9. This music, like, this is spot on.
Yeah.
And they're so young, and these guys are so young, and it's like I wonder what bands like those indie bands like Pavement. I don't know if you know Pavement's like a band that like paved the way for, no pun
Literally.
intended, paved the way for these bands. I mean, like, there's a guy, I forget his last, Steven, I forget his last name. He's the singer of Pavement, and that's the sound. So to go check out Pavement if you like Basement or you like Movements or Turnover, that whole scene, any of those,
Check out
any of these
Pavement.
bands.
Okay.
Check out Pavement because they're like an OG band from the '90s.
Okay.
They played like bigger festivals like Lollapalooza and stuff like that. But and you're probably familiar with some of their songs, like maybe
You just
one or
didn't
two.
know it.
You just exactly.
Yeah,
You just didn't know it.
it.
But I wonder what bands like that, which they're probably aware that this is happening, and also what's cool is Movements. They're from
Orange County.
They're from Orange County.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a couple other bands that are from the UK.
There's Moose Blood. Moose Blood's very good.
So
They're
this
in
is
that
like this
realm.
new like British invasion thing
Yeah.
where like you go to the UK or whatever, you listen to these bands in the UK, like this whole 90s, like especially if you see footage of their shows, which is the coolest reflection of these bands that it's like 2017 or whatever it's dated, and it's like, dude, this energy, like this unchecked aggression. This is like, I feel like I'm watching something like I pulled
Form.
like from like 1995.
Yeah.
And these kids are like 23, 22.
Yeah.
It's insane, like how much justice they're doing. So yeah, I mean, Movements is, I love, I love that record. I love that record.
really good.
It's so fucking good.
I'm actually having Pat. He's going to be the next person on this show next week. Next Tuesday, I'll be interviewing Pat in Huntington.
Nice.
Huntington Beach. So
One of my really good friends that works at the studio, he's co-owner of the studio that I work at with Daniel, did their record.
Okay.
The Movements record.
It's good.
And I was already a fan of them before I kind of got close with him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I did this." And so shout out Zach Tush.
Zach Tush.
He's an amazing guy.
Yeah, my mind was blown when I heard that Eric Ron worked on Seosin's album, the In Search of Solid Ground, the one after their self-titled that everyone loves.
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh man, like I wanted to talk to him for hours about it. I was just obsessed.
Yeah,
Too
he's done
obsessed.
so much stuff.
Yeah, that guy's a workhorse.
We walk
man.
his studio's like just covered in
records.
I'm like, oh, friend,
Yeah.
person I know, person I like, fan, band I'm fan, band I'm fan of,
band I'm fan of.
band I'm fan of.
Well, okay, so just to start wrapping it up because we're almost at an hour and a half now. Let's.
Have we been sitting here for an hour and a half?
Yep, hour 24.
It's felt like a half hour.
Yeah, it's felt like a half an hour,
Wow.
but Let's just talk a bit about your tour coming up. Is this the longest tour you've ever done for your solo project, or damn near it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Well, no, I did it two. No. It's about this. The last one
About
I
the
did.
same?
Yeah, it's about the same.
Okay.
This one's a little longer and has a. No, it is longer, and there's no days off. There's 1 day off.
Hashtag no days off. All right.
Hashtag no days off.
Gotta respect it.
So yeah, we're going straight through. So yeah, I mean, I'm going out with this guy that I know, a friend of mine. We'll become friends again. I met him.
It's been a minute.
No, yeah, I met him one time. His name's Apache Chief.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're doing the East Coast. We got 2 weeks on the East Coast. We got like a lot of New York dates, like 4 dates. We're doing Brooklyn. The Brooklyn show's doing really well. It's almost
Don't crowd surf.
It's almost sold. Yeah, dude, 6'9".
6'9".
Yeah, we're doing Boston. We're doing Scranton. Going to like Kentucky as well. Going
hell yeah.
And wrapping up in Omaha. Doing.
It's gonna be so fucking cold, dude.
I fucking hate my life. It's gonna suck. I think I'm doing Indiana too or something. So yeah, that's coming up in February, and I'm super excited. Got the EP coming out.
Yeah, when's that gonna be
the
released?
EP's coming out in 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
There's no date. We're not doing a date. We're just gonna
release it.
I don't know, but it's gonna be in 4 weeks. Like,
okay.
In 4, not like within 4. Well, it could be. I don't know. Like it's done. It's mastered pretty much, and now we're just like. This is the first time I've been ahead of schedule for anything I've done. So we're just figuring out. So we got a single. We have a single coming out soon. Fuck, I almost want to say the name, but I'm not going to.
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna say it. It's coming out. It'll probably be out next week.
Okay.
And then the EP will follow, and then we got a couple of visuals coming out as well. So a lot of stuff happening in the next 4 weeks. A lot of content coming out, kind of all at once, right before the tour.
And then you said you're working on something else, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm going to do something heavy again for all of you people that want to know.
Bomb. You just dropped a bomb.
Yeah. So I know I've kind of been like flirting with all you guys about that. So here it is.
Yeah, Warped Tour, man. I was so stoked that you were going to do guesties for Counterparts, and then I was like, where the fuck are you?
That would have been so much fun.
I was so ready for it, man.
I literally had to go because of this girl, Jenna. I'm just joking. She's going to see
That's a bad shout-out, Jenna.
No, I'm just joking. It wasn't her fault. It was no one's fault. I wanted to stay so bad, but I would have been like stuck for a ride.
Yeah.
So my ride was leaving, and it wasn't Jenna's fault. Okay. It was not Jenna's fault.
All right.
It was like we just had to go, but that would have been so fun. It would have been so fun. I would have killed. Like I love Counterparts. That's another great band. And
that was a great set.
I know like all their. I know like majority of like most of their songs, and I'm such like a fucking nerd when it comes to them.
They're great.
So yeah, I miss it. I miss it. I don't think I'm gonna tour. Maybe. But we'll see. I think it's just gonna be something like an internet band.
People can hear your voice though again, scream, which is
we'll see. And then maybe we'll do some shows. But I have a couple of my friends in on it with me, and it's something we're gonna dive into this summer and just kind of get back to it and do it for nostalgia, where it's. We're definitely gonna share it with everybody and take it as seriously as possible. No real like touring.
Yeah, not like a full thing looking to be signed and all that stuff.
Definitely gonna hop back on the horse for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, I miss it. I need to, like I said, I need that. I don't have a therapist.
So yeah,
I don't have a therapist, so that would be like, whoa, yeah, that's really getting.
Yeah, that's more of an outlet too, screaming.
Yeah, but I miss it, and I still listen to heavy music, and it's close to my heart, and it'll always be, it'll always be. So I think it's time for me to do something again.
Yeah. All right, well, guys, make sure to look out for that. This was a great first podcast. Dude. I couldn't have asked for anything better, dude.
I'm honored.
Yeah,
that can
dude.
be the Chris in your podcast.
Yeah,
man.
dude. Pop my podcast cherry.
Pop your podcast cherry. Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Thank you so much for
dude,
having.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for the set as well.
Yeah, no problem, man. I
This
hope
is a
everyone
great
else is as good to you as I was.
Yeah. No. Don't think the bar set up here. Like it's the next podcast. We're gonna be like
There's gonna
shit
be
lighting.
Pat. You said his name is
Yeah, Pat, yeah.
Pat. Bring it.
Yeah.
Try to beat this.
Yeah, Pat, bring it, man.
Yeah.
He lives in Huntington Beach, so maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll just go to the beach and say fuck it. I don't know. Get
That-
sunburned.
There you go. There you go.
I'll get sunburned. And shit
You should do that. You should take it like you should-
elsewhere.
like we did, like the In-N-Out thing. Like you should just be like wherever. Like some dudes like
It is portable. I mean, I could do it.
just like in the car with these. That'd be
Yeah.
that'd be kind of funny.
I actually, that's the video that made me want to get this set up. Was this couple like we travel the world and we just have this audio recorder and these two mics and we're
insane.
good.
It's insane.
So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We can try to do it. So, anyways, yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
Man.
no worries, man.
All right,
no worries.
guys, we are signing out. Thank you
MichaelBarTour.com. Go get your tickets.
MichaelBarTour.com.
EP
Also,
on the way.
check out 6ix9ine and Rain Supply.
Oh, yeah. What,
And,
let's go down the list. Oh my God, what was the 6ix9ine Rain Supply? Fucking movements.
Movements.
God,
Post
who else?
Malone,
Post
Knock
Malone,
Loose.
Neck Deep.
Neck deep for sure.
Fucking Sean Chameleon, Runaway
Sean
Kids.
Chameleon, Runaway Kids.
Yeah. All right. We're out.
All right, guys, we're
We're
out.
done.
Peace
We'll let
out.
you go.